Hello and welcome to a fresh new episode of Science Monitor, our weekly update on all that is happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. Conserving water to protecting turtles. We have many issues this week to address, but let us take a look at the headlines first. India joins elite space league, successfully tests indigenous mini shuttle. Indian Institute of Science tops in research output, indicates study. We have a special story for you today to celebrate the World Turtle Day. And in our In Focus segment today, we will discuss about the problem of water scarcity and need of conserving water. And now news in detail. ISRO has proved its technological strength once again, as on 23rd of May, ISRO successfully launched India's first indigenous mini shuttle. The shuttle, called the Reusable Launch Vehicle Technology Demonstrator or the RLVTD, was successfully launched from Sriharikota and descended to Bay of Bengal. With this feat, India has joined the elite club of spacefaring nations like the US, Russia and Japan, which developed and used RLVs for their space missions.
The Indian Space Research Organisation has demonstrated its technology prowess once again. ISRO on 23rd May successfully tested India's first indigenous mini shuttle. India's first winged body aerospace vehicle, called the Reusable Launch Vehicle Technology Demonstrator or RLVTD, was successfully launched from ISRO's first launch pad in Sriharikota, 80 kilometers off Chennai on the east coast at 7 a.m. on Monday. The RLVTD shuttle, which is shaped like an aircraft, was launched aboard the HS-9, a 7-meter rocket with a booster weighing 17 tons and including 9 tons of solid propellants. Following the launch, the rocket and shuttle made a successful flight of 91.1 seconds, after which HS-9 burnout occurred. After the burnout, the HS-9 and RLVTD were programmed to scale to a height of about 56 kilometers, after which RLVTD separated from HS-9 booster and further ascended to its peak altitude of 65 kilometers. On attaining the height of 65 kilometers, RLVTD was successfully steered to its descent by the vehicle's navigation, guidance and control system. The shuttle, which made its atmospheric re-entry with 5 times the speed of sound, successfully landed at its defined landing spot over Bay of Bengal at a distance of about 450 kilometers from Sriharikota.
80% of the cost of the rocket only for materials and manufacturing that cost. Only 15 to 20% down consumables like propellant, the burn off portfolio. Means 80% material cost. Suppose in the rocket 80% rocket if you are recovering and reusing the rocket, that means 80% of the money we can recover. This is a simple technology. That is, every time we need only 20% cost only required to launch a satellite.
The mission has enabled ISRO to successfully collect data and validate critical technologies like hypersonic speed, autonomous navigation, guidance and control, reusable thermal protection system, powered cruise flight using air-breathing propulsion, and re-entry mission management.
India's research acumen and technological prowess has been acknowledged worldwide. Among the many leading and globally renowned research institutes of India is the Indian Institute of Science located in Bangalore. Established in 1909 by Jamshedji Tata, Indian Institute of Science leads the country's organizations in research output.
The Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, is known worldwide as one of the premier institutions of scientific research. Known for its research output and outstanding contributions to innovation, IISc has been adjudged the top university in the country. The 2016 study, International Comparative Performance of India's Research Base, a bibliometric analysis, has come to the conclusion based on the number of publications research institutions had in the 12-year period. According to the statistics, with 22,056 publications between 2002 and 2014, IISc has the most number of publications from a single academic institute in India and was ahead of 29 top academic institutions, government and private, based on the volume of publications. The study was commissioned by the Department of Science and Technology and hailed IISc as India's most prolific academic institution. IISc has also been declared as the most prolific in most subject areas, with the highest number of publications between 2009 and 2013 in 6 subjects, namely physics and astronomy, biochemistry, genetics and molecular biology, materials science, chemistry, mathematics, and earth and planetary sciences. The study ranks 7 IITs among the top 30, with 5 in the top 10, and IIT Madras having the highest share at 44.3%. According to the study, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research had the highest number of citations per paper, with a citation index of 12.7 against IISc's index of 8.1 between 2009 and 2013.
Turtles, one of the most interesting species that exist on Earth. One of the oldest and most primitive groups of reptiles to evolve on Earth, turtles are crucial links of freshwater and marine food chain and ecosystem. But sadly, recent years have seen rapid declination of a turtle population across the world. The reasons being as wide as habitat destruction, poaching and many others. With the aim of protecting turtles, 23rd of May is celebrated by conservationists as the World Turtle Day. Now joining hands with this cause, let us see this special story dedicated to turtles.
Extinction of species has become an order of the day. Every day we are losing thousands of species having different taxonomic affinities across the globe, and the biological wealth on Earth is facing risk of extinction due to large-scale habitat destruction, habitat fragmentation, unsustainable developmental practices, and climate change. One of the species most affected by such reckless human activities is the turtles. Turtles are one of the oldest and most primitive groups of reptiles found in both fresh and ocean waters, having evolved millions of years ago. There is a lot of ambiguity in taxonomy of turtles, as these have been used as synonyms with tortoises in common languages. However, Integrated Taxonomic Information System suggests that these belong to the order Testudens or Chelonia, split into 2 suborders, Cryptodira and Pleurodira. Testudens, including turtles, have wider ecological adaptations and can survive in varied environments. They play a crucial role in food chain and ecosystem and act as grazing animals that cut the seagrass short and help maintain the health of these fragile ecosystems. But unfortunately, according to the report published by Tortoise and Freshwater Turtle Specialist Group, Top 25 species of turtles are most likely to become extinct, and many are at a much higher risk of extinction than other vertebrates. Indian turtles are worst hit as coastal areas are highly degraded. With the aim of conserving this rapidly vanishing species, May 23rd is celebrated by conservationists as World Turtle Day. The day is marked special on environmental calendars, as on this day, we commemorate the role played by turtles and the ecological consequences of their sharp decline in aquatic environments. Recent decline in turtle population is due to their habitat destruction along with large-scale poaching as food resources and use of various parts of turtle body in making drugs in Chinese system of medicines, uses to increase longevity and treat ailments. Understanding their ecological role is important, and conservation biologists have to attract the attention and raise awareness about their importance and conservation needs. Let turtles stay where they belong to, and hope you had a very happy Turtle Day.
And now it is time to take a very short break. We'll be back with more science news. Keep watching Science Monitor. Welcome back. After the break, you're watching Science Monitor. Let us now have a look at some important science and technology activities happening in India and abroad in our next segment, Science Express.
Probing the darker unexplored regions of Moon, a team of researchers from the Southwest Research Institute have discovered two geologically young craters. The team has discovered the craters using a novel technique called Lyman Alpha Mapping Project, or LAMP instrument, aboard the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. LAMP uses the far ultraviolet Lyman Alpha band skyglow and light from ultraviolet bright stars to explore the dark and permanently shaded regions of the Moon. The craters, which are 16 million years old and between 75 and 420 million years old respectively, are located near the lunar South Pole. Coming up with a path-breaking innovation, a team of researchers from the University of Texas have developed a technique for long-lasting batteries that can last 5 times longer than current ones. The development is based on the discovery of a new catalyst called dimethylphenazine with higher stability and increased voltage efficiency. Based on this electrolyte catalyst, the team has developed a lithium-air battery that take up oxygen from the air to power chemical reactions that release electricity and increase battery capacity. Speaking at the 69th World Health Assembly in Geneva recently, the leader of the World Health Organization, Margaret Chan, has called for stronger health systems and has said that rise of infectious diseases and man-made disasters are among the most urgent challenges that must be addressed in today's health landscape, stressing on the need of combating infectious diseases, especially emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases.
We are seeing now looks more and more like a dramatic resurgence of the threat from emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases. The world is not prepared to cope. High-level assessments of the Ebola response have consistently called for more resilient health systems as a first line of defense. And this is also the position taken at the G7 summit being held later this week in Japan.
Chan has called for more resilient health systems and countering profit-oriented policies. A shocking new study by the Center for Science and Environment has claimed that some of the most popular brands of bread used in many Indian households contain carcinogenic substances.
हमने 38 सैंपल्स मार्केट से रैंडमली सिलेक्ट किए, उनकी टेस्टिंग की और 84% में हमारा जो टेस्ट था वो पॉजिटिव निकला.
According to the study, researchers have discovered residues of potassium bromate and potassium iodate in 84% of 38 bread samples from the market. According to the report, these chemicals are used for treating flour and making the bread soft and fluffy. And while potassium bromate is carcinogenic, potassium iodate can cause thyroid-related issues.
Earth, the only planet to harbor life. And the prime reason for existence of life on Earth is the presence of liquid water. Life originated in water. In fact, it would not be wrong to say that water is life. But unfortunately, the greatest challenge today is preserving this very life force. Water, once the largest natural resource on Earth, is today becoming a scarce commodity, and the reason is none other than us, the humans. How is the water shortage affecting populations worldwide, and what can we do about it? Well, this will be the topic of our discussion in our next segment, In Focus.
It is said that the wars of 21st century will be fought over water. Though many of us would have come across this saying, let us admit we have never paid much heed to it. And this precisely is the reason why reckless use of water is leading to rapid decrease of underground water levels. Today, the whole world is struggling with the drastic consequences of famine, drought and water shortages. Summer has only begun and 13 Indian states, including Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh, are already under the grips of drought, with water scarce not only for agriculture but even for drinking. Experts attribute this situation mainly to changes in the monsoon and fall in the groundwater levels. But what exactly are the reasons behind scarcity of water globally, and why are human populations struggling for even drops of drinkable water? 71% of Earth's surface is covered with water. However, 97.5% of this water on Earth is salty, leaving only 2.5% fresh water. Of this small percentage of fresh water also, 70% is frozen in the ice caps of Antarctica and Greenland, and a large portion present as soil moisture or lies in deep underground, not accessible to human use. In short, approximately only 1% of the world's fresh water is accessible for direct human uses. If we step back a little in time, we would realize that few decades back, the world had enough water to sustain as water was available throughout the year in wells and reservoir ponds. Water from these sources slowly permeated to earth, replenishing the water table underground.
जहाँ पर ये अत्यधिक जो दोहन होता है भूमिगत जल का, तो वहाँ पर क्या होता है, कोन ऑफ डिप्रेशन बन जाती है। जब कोन ऑफ डिप्रेशन बन जाती है तो वहाँ के लिए जो भूमिगत जल है वो सदा के लिए उस जगह को छोड़ चुका होता है, क्योंकि उसके ऊपर के जो स्तर होते हैं वो जब जगह खाली होता है तो कोई भी जगह खाली नहीं रहता है, कोई ना कोई उसको भरता है, तो वो ऊपर के जो पत्थर हैं वो खिसक के नीचे आ जाते हैं। अब वो जगह परमानेंटली एक तरह से आप समझ लीजिए कि भूमिगत जल उस जगह को छोड़ चुका होता है। तो ये समस्या जो साउथ एशियन कंट्री में खास करके भारतवर्ष और इसके आसपास के जो पड़ोसी देश हैं वहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा है।
On the other hand, only as much water as required was drawn from the wells. But today, all these traditional water resources have been replaced by tube wells, taps and hand pumps. While these modern techniques have eased the access to water, it has, on the other hand, also led to large-scale wastage of water. Added to this, today we have concrete paved roads, which unlike the traditional mud paved roads and streets, do not facilitate permeation of rainwater to the ground. As a result, most of the rainwater, instead of reaching groundwater table, is just wasted away on the surface.
पहले क्या होता था कि एक जो लो एरिया होता था किसी शहर का या गांव का, वहाँ जो बारिश का पानी इकट्ठा होता था वो तालाब बन जाते थे और वहाँ लोग अपना उस पानी को इस्तेमाल करते थे नहाने के लिए, या उसको ले जा कर के कई बार पीने के काम में भी लाते थे। मछली पालन होता, मत्स्य पालन होता था, कई काम होता था। लेकिन अब क्या होता है कि आप कहीं भी आपको शहर के इर्द गिर्द तालाब नहीं मिलेंगे, उसको पाट के उसके ऊपर मल्टी स्टोरीड मकान बन गए हैं।
India is an agricultural nation whose economy is heavily dependent on water and timely rains. 70% of India's agriculture is dependent on underground water and monsoon. But it is observed that during irrigation of crops, tube wells are often left running, leading to wastage of hundreds of liters of water. Unfortunately, we also waste a lot of water during our day-to-day activities like bathing, washing and cooking. In a nutshell, while we are rapidly drawing water from inside of Earth, there are no measures taken to replenish the water table. Hence, today, if we are plagued by the scarcity of water, it is because of our own thoughtless actions. It is because while we are rapidly tapping water, we are not taking any measures to conserve it. Water conservation is the need of the hour. Little drops of water makes the mighty ocean, but without these little drops, oceans cannot exist. So let us start today, and let us start with the smallest drops. Let us conserve water today if we want to protect our tomorrow.
Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us how do you like our program. You can also send your feedback and suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. Well, that is all for today. We'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, stay tuned to Rajya Sabha TV and think scientific. Bye-bye.